Hey gardeners, Amy here with Garden Up. Today I'm going to show you how I overwinter my potted plants. Alright, so inevitably by the end of the year I usually have a few extra plants that I didn't get into clients' gardens or didn't get into my own gardens, or for whatever reason I have a bunch of plants sitting in pots. So I don't want to just leave them out in the elements, because what will usually happen is either they will dry out and die because of that, or they'll get overly wet and then that water will freeze in the pot and then it doesn't drain. And this is what happens with natives a lot. They actually drown over the winter because of all of that. The other thing that happens with potted plants specifically is that the cold gets to the root balls a little too easily, and that can kill the plant that way. So you want to keep them in a way where they won't get overwatered, they won't get underwatered, and they won't freeze. So I like to keep my plants under my cherry tree because I'm very unlikely to trip on them or step on them. They're not going to be in the way, and they're kind of protected from all of those elements. So today I'm going to show you how I do that. So under this tree specifically, I do rake up the leaves because this tree has and has had shot hole fungus, which can overwinter on the leaves. It usually is more likely to overwinter on the leaf scars of the branches, but leaving the leaves here can continue to perpetuate the disease. So I do want to remove all of the leaf litter from underneath this tree. Then I like to lay down a layer of pine needles. This keeps the plants warm underneath. It gets them up off the ground so that if there is any cool air, it goes under the pots and not straight into them. And it also creates a complete layer of insulation. Then I put my pots down. Then I put another layer of pine needles over top. This is the blanket that keeps them warm. It also tends to keep them a little bit drier over the course of the winter. When I use this method and I do it correctly in the fall, like I don't run out of time before winter comes, I tend to have a very low mortality rate for my overwintered plants. Most of them do come back next year. When I forget to do this, I lose a lot of plants. So I like to use this method when I can, when I have time, and when I actually get it done. Alright gardeners, so since I still haven't finished editing this video, I can go ahead and add the spring follow-up to it. It is March 20th. It's been super warm. We've had an early warm weather season already this year in 2024, and I am going to start uncovering all the stuff that I overwintered last winter. Now, some of it's going to show growth, some of it is not. Some of it will start perking up after I water it, which hopefully will be today. I am planning on turning my water on today. So let's see what survived and what didn't. Alright, so here's a flat of woolly thyme, I think, and it doesn't look like much, but if you pull back the top, frost burnt growth, you can see there's some green down here, so it's still alive and doing just fine. Thyme doesn't need any type of protection whatsoever, which is why I just had it sitting there in front. I'm going to use this in my yard this year because I'm going to put in a thyme lawn. I'm so excited for this. Oh, this is a purple smoke bush that we dug up from a client's property. This one is a serviceberry. It has buds swelling, but no leaves or anything. All right, these two cactuses. Here's one cactus. This is a cactus with penstemon growing out of it. They're doing just fine. Daylily. This is that Semisifuga. I don't even know how to say this. I didn't know I still hadn't planted that. So far, I think we're at 100%. Oh, except that smoke bush. This one's a serviceberry, and it hasn't grown from the top yet, but it's growing on the bottom. German chamomile, which was given to me, and I'm actually not familiar with this plant. I think it's an annual, so it probably wouldn't have come back except by seed. Same with this. This is the same thing. My hellebores were doing an interesting thing. They were really pretty and green right up until about January, and then they just did this, shriveled up and looked hideous. But underneath the cover, they're still really nice green. They are an understory plant, so it doesn't surprise me a bit that they like being covered. This one, I think, is hyssop. Don't see any growth yet. Oh, this is a hollyhock, which that's not going to show growth for a little longer either. Yeah, those are daylilies. They did not like being under the pine needles for that long. This, I believe, was my flat of stuff that I thought had died anyway. Oh, but there's some life here in that. There's some life in this. And I think my Hawaiian strawberry is not yet dead, so that's exciting. Here's a pine leaf penstemon. Those all came back. And it's still a little too early to tell for some of them. Okay, most of these have come back. The penstemons showing new growth already. I think this tag came out of this pot, which is showy daisy, sweet little short daisy flower. There's some growth coming out of this. Oh, it's purple coneflower. That's the same as this. So that's echinacea, foxglove penstemon there. This would be the penstemon digitalis here. Yep, foxglove penstemon. Oh, this is black-eyed Susan. Missouri evening primrose I don't see growth on, but I actually noticed that mine doesn't look good in my garden either, so I'm wondering if they just didn't come back this year. If something about winter they didn't like or something. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was of value to you. If you liked it, remember to hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave them in a comment below. I do my best to answer all of the questions that come in. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you get more gardening content in your video feed every week. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you in the garden.